Masking is a protective method using tape or paper to cover surfaces that do not require a finish, and it is used to protect the adjacent surfaces during grinding, spraying, or polishing. In this video, we will introduce the basic sequence of masking operation, the selection of masking boundary, and the masking methods in the construction process. We hope that you can learn about the characteristics and reasonable use of the commonly used masking materials with the aid of this film. First, use a dust-blowing gun and cleaning rag to clean and degrease the parts to be masked. If there is dust, water, or oil stain on the adhesive tape, the adhesion of masking tape will be adversely affected, and the tape tends to peel off easily. To mask an openable part, such as a door or engine hood, mask the inner steel panel first. Mask a bracing between door hinges as the gap tape will not be applied in those parts. And mark the corners of vehicle guard bar as the parts cannot be masked once the door is closed. Mask the entire zone of the site to be repaired using masking paper in order to reduce the time and waste of material in such a sequence. Different spraying methods and spraying zones require masking different zones. The scattering range of paint mist differs for local repair and the large area respraying, and requires properly masking the desired zones. Mask the panel boundary using tape to avoid masking tape peeling off after the coating is completely dried. Affixing the tape at the last minute can ensure that the tape is removed when the coating is still flexible so as to avoid coating peeling off. Peel off the masking tape and ensure that the tape edges are parallel to the coating surface. Masking is usually performed at the workshop stations. After general operation positions are masked, do not mask the zones, such as the windscreen and the tires, that blocks moving the vehicle to be sprayed before the vehicle is moved into the paint booth. Generally speaking, the masking material shall be stripped when forced drying is over. For some small area spray zones, stripping may also be performed after polishing. However, the masking tape along the boundary shall be carefully stripped when the applied coating is still soft, because once the paint becomes dry and brittle, it cannot be separated evenly, resulting in unsatisfactory results. The masking tape on the sealing strip shall also be removed with care before drying. Selecting boundary and masking method. The separation zone between the zone requiring recoating and the zone not requiring recoating is referred to as the masking boundary. In the construction, the boundary must be selected based on the zones to be sprayed on and the conditions of the old coating. The gap between adjacent panels must be masked in order to spray a body panel as a whole. Since the boundary zone is divided by the gap between the metal panels, the gap may serve as a boundary when masking is performed. Boundary on body sealant. To recoat rear fender or other types of car body metal panels, the protrusions and depressions of the sealant may serve as the masking boundary. Ensure that the masking boundary does not give rise to a steep difference on the surface after spraying. Boundary on characteristic line. To determine a boundary at the projection of a characteristic line is a way to make indistinct the color difference between adjacent metal panels. Such a method to make indistinct as far as possible the color difference of steps formed at boundary is usually implemented by reverse masking or affixing tapes. Panel plane portion boundary. Setting up a boundary at the plane portion of metal panel is a masking method used to prevent the paint overflow during shading for local repair process. In such a case, reverse masking is often used to set up boundaries and minimize the steps. The masking tape or masking paper will be folded back in process of reverse masking. Finally, through the introduction of the above contents, we hope that you can master the basic sequence of the masking work and can reasonably select the sites for panel shielding boundary and carry out the masking. We hope that you can apply and improve them in practice.